Hey everyone, I wanted to do a little roundup for all the different videos I had found throughout the week. When I find them, I just kind of put them aside, and I want to kind of put together a collection. This is last week's, but I want to do a collection every week of the different things that I find, and so we can talk about those. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This first one comes from Coast to Coast, and actually the first two come from Coast to Coast. If you haven't checked them out, their website, I would definitely recommend it. They have a great show. I believe that they have a podcast now, so you can check out their past shows. But really, really cool stuff. They're one of my favorites for a very long time. This one is this lady here in North Carolina. She had unfortunately her dog had died a few weeks ago, a few weeks before this video was shot, and she eventually got a new dog. So she recorded this video, and just check this out. You can see the new dog in the background there just for a second there. And then she zooms in. There you go. And she calls. I have the sound muted because she does this kissy face thing to call the dog, and it's really loud. So I have it muted so you can't hear that. Now, did you see that? The new dog is back here. And watch this area right in here. Now, she claims that is the ghost of the dog that had passed away, and honestly, I've watched this a few dozen times, and I don't see any explanation for that. I actually pulled the frames apart and went through it frame by frame to see what I could pull out, what I could see, and there's very, very little image data there. It's just like a section of white color, and I don't know if it's a reflection off of something or if it actually is her dog. But a really, really interesting video, if nothing else. So let me know what you think about that one. And there's the new little puppy right there. So the next one also comes from Coast to Coast. This is a 300-year-old saint in Guadalajara, Mexico. And I'm going to mute this one as well because it's got a lot of background audio and it's very loud. So, I mean, this, obviously, she's embalmed. She's somehow, just the fact that she is that well preserved after 300 years is amazing. Now, I'm sure you saw that. Watch it. Here it goes in slow motion. Now, there's two things I want to point out here. Number one is my first guess when I see something like this is some sort of video editing. Obviously, because generally someone who's been dead doesn't open their eyes, especially when they're dead for 300 years. But watch where the camera blurs here. Let me go back a little bit more. It blurs, and her eyes open. And then it blurs again, and her eyes close. Now, if that is part of its video editing, is that done to hide the edits in it? Or is that just coincidence? Now, if I'm looking through that viewfinder and I see her open her eyes, I'm gone. I'm not going to stand around to shoot anymore. That's going to be pretty much the end of my visit. So let me know what you think about that one. That is very, very disturbing. Now this one comes from the Sun. They have some weird, they're kind of like, I consider them almost like a UK tabloid. That might not be the right word for them, but they have some interesting stuff that goes up. And this was audio or video in a store. And look in the bottom right. You won't be able to see it. It'll be down here. You have to look for it quickly. But look in the bottom right of this video. You can see something fall over here. And it took me a while to figure out what that was that fell. That is actually an angel that the wings fell off of. You can see a little bit better because this is actually a different angle of it right here. And it looks like an angel that her wings fell off. There you can see, and he comes back and he puts the little wings back on her. So, the thing about this is whether or not you believe that's real or not. The issue that I have with this is that the ghost says there's an angry poltergeist, and that's... Now, there's a couple things here. Either they aren't showing the bad stuff, or that's not a poltergeist. A ghost will do things like that. They'll do it to get attention, to let you know that they're there, what have you. A poltergeist is a much angrier elemental kind of thing. It's not an elemental, but it's very powerful, and it's almost like a force of nature in that way. That's why I say elemental. So, let me know what you think about that one as well. And this is the last one. This was filmed. Now, this is supposedly Llorna. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's there's a spirit in Mexico. It's like there's a story about this lady who she found out her husband was cheating on her, and she went into she, in a fit of desperation, she drowned herself and her children, and then she went to heaven, and she was told at the gates that she had to find her children before she could find rest. And so she's basically walking the streets of the cities in purgatory. So that's the story. Let me turn that down a little bit. Okay. So obviously check that red circle there. There's no reason to have the volume up on this one. This one really bugs me because the way that she blinks in before the car hits her. To me, I've always found with paranormal videos, especially when it comes to spirits and ghosts and things, I found that the old adage is true that if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. I am very skeptical when I see something that is that clear. To me, if that is was actually pulled directly from CCTV without first being edited before it was uploaded, I would be very surprised at that. To me, that either looks like video editing or some kind of mirror effect. We're going to another video here. I don't even know who that is. I don't care about Prince George. So there you have it. There's our weekly roundup. We're going to be doing this every week of different things that I find throughout the week, so we can kind of break them down and talk about it. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments below. I love your feedback. I love reading your comments, and I'll definitely get back with you. Until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll keep coming out with more.